Hi everyone, number one Marmaduke fan here, trying to catch up and actually review the comics in my pull list before I get my next pull list. That way I don't get a giant stack of comic books. So I'm looking at Cable number 159. This is continuing a story out of issue 158, and the Diversity in Comics channel has been recommending this series recently. He is a big Cable fan. I am not a big Cable fan. I have absolutely zero childhood connection to Cable's character. I didn't even like the look of him that much when he would appear as a guest star in X-Men books. But I've really been liking this series, and I think this sort of by adding my voice to also say I recommend it as well. I think what this is illustrating is that these new Cable books are really doing a good job of conveying to me, a non-Cable fan, an idea of who Cable is and what his role is in the X world. So, Countdown to Extermination, I missed that. But, oh, I know what that is. That's the setup for the next Cable thing. So this is the last issue, I think, with Germán Peralta as the artist. And I remember Peralta from one of my earliest videos for this channel. It was called Peralta Doesn't Cheat on Thanos number 11. And I filmed it on the bus, and it was about a minute. And I pretty much just made the point that Peralta doesn't copy pasty all his stuff. He actually draws, and this is definitely an illustration of Peralta continuing that love and attention to his craft. So, this and the previous issues sort of show us Cable as a young man wandering the streets in kind of an alternate timeline where Apocalypse is the evil totalitarian ruler of the world, and Cable is pretty much sort of racked with guilt and doubt from his childhood experiences. And what we see in this issue is we see the origin of the villain he's been fighting. And Peralta does a really good job, not just showing young Cable as kind of human and identifiable, but also of showing sort of like this horrific nature of his curse, this virus, the techno-organic virus. It sort of turns his arm into a machine and could threaten to kill him and turn him into like this machine-like cancer monstrosity sort of deal. But so he's got to hold that in place. But Peralta does a good job of making this feel like something really terrifying and horrifying. And then Cable feels a lot of guilt and doubt because of what he did to his friend by accident. So I'm getting the feeling that Cable is a character who's sympathetic for people. He wants to take care of life, and that's why he's doing all this time travel stuff to try to undo the horrible future he grew up in. But then he also is sort of, even though he has this really firm, stern outer exterior, he also has this internal fear and weakness that he has to struggle against. So I'm really starting to get interested in Cable as a new Cable fan, thanks to Peralta bringing all this, energy and attention to his character. All this stuff of like his friend was secretly a mutant, and he can morph his body. So when he gets hit by the techno-organic virus, he just starts mutating as a way of trying to cope with the pain or diminish the pain of the virus. And so, of course, he mutates into this nasty monstrosity, but he's still a human being. It's not that he's an evil monster. It's that his body's trying to cope with this, sort of sickening disease. It's almost like a metaphor for having leprosy in the Bible. If you had leprosy, they would like cast you out and you wouldn't be allowed in the city. So he comes back to his parents and they see he looks like a monster, and it's like he's got leprosy. So his father actually attacks him with a knife, and the poor kid runs off. And this is like really grim and graphic, but at the end there's like a really sweet moment where Cable is able to do some mutant power shenanigans to help his friend, and there's like a really sympathetic moment for Cable and the young boy at the end. So this is a lot of fun. I'm sorry to see Peralta go. The new artist is Oscar Bazaldua, and kind of a really clean line style, where the color seems to add like a lot of sheen to it. Cable's afraid something's going down. So I've liked Cable. I've been reading it since issue 1, and I've loved all the artists and stories they've done with Cable so far since it was issue 1 before they reset the numbering, of course. But I remember it was who was it? Ildare Yassar or something like that. Yeah. So it's just been a great run for Cable, even for me as a non-Cable fan, and I'd highly recommend this series. So, number one Marmaduke fan. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.